So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. And today we're winding down with a Negroni Sbagliato. And Sbagliato in Italian means mistake or mistaken. And as many of you might know, this cocktail was born in Florence, Italy, in a small cafe by the Count Camillo Negroni. However, his family kind of disputes that whole thing. In fact, the aristocratic family of the Count Negroni say that there was no such person in their family as Camillo. But regardless, the Sbagliato is one of many variations of this fabulous cocktail, in that this one is still equal parts of, sweet vermouth, Campari, only instead of that third equal part of gin, it's an equal part of champagne, prosecco, sect, whatever, brut, whatever you've got that's bubbly and dry. And the result is just fabulous. You don't really miss any of those herbal notes. You miss a little bit of the herbal gin notes, but I think that the Dajon that I'm using here actually does a really nice job of bringing out a different bouquet altogether. This is a fabulously floral herbal drink. It's got a whole lot of winey stuff in it. So I think I can legitimately wind down with this and to celebrate with this beautiful ruby red classic that I do not have mouth pain today. So let's get a little bit of that solver's courage and hop into our grid. Plus, with the absence of gin, I can probably drink a few of these without getting a little bit tipsy. Okay, so we have a Lance Enfinger grid. Name seems vaguely familiar to me. We'll have to read up on him after the grid. But, of course, makes me so happy to say it. Edited by Will Shorts. Let's hop into this grid and see what we got. Okay. Ruling from a tennis line judge. Well, let's take a look. Emphasized text-wise. Like the yellow polka dot bikini in a 1966 #1 novelty song. Let's see, it was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. So, weenie. Teeny weeny. I've never seen the lyrics to the song. I'm pretty sure we can rule out bitsy and itsy. And I don't think we need to be putting in anything to do with the colors since it's already been covered in the clues. So I'm going to go with either teeny or weenie, I guess. And we're going to figure out what that might be. So, popular Thanksgiving item. Okay, Lance Enfinger, you're just going to be difficult here off the start, aren't you? Types. All right, let's see. Maybe we can work with ilks. See if they'll fit. Scientific Bill could be Bill Nye the Science Guy. So, I guess the line judge in the tennis match could be it's in. Emphasized text-wise. Like the yellow polka dot. I think it's probably teeny. Is it teensy weeny? Teensy weensy? Itsy bitsy? I don't even remember. I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm going to have to spell half of these out. I can't remember how to spell that, nor did I ever see how to spell that. I've just heard it on the radio 1,000 times, right? So, for the first time, one in charge of a sting operation. And I don't know about you, but that KE right there just tells me this is a beekeeper. Could be completely wrong, and that's fine if I am, but I'll be bold. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be edgy. I'm gonna make this work. For the first time, let's see, we got here individuals. Like a birthday candle prior to your making a wish could be lit. Head off, maybe. Okay, so we got that eye there. So maybe now I think we can get teeny weeny in here. Whew, thank goodness, right? I think we got a popular Thanksgiving item being a sweet potato. All right, no, not potato, but a potato. So I guess head off could be to deep heart. And quadruple award achievement would be an agate, I imagine. It locks into place, and that could be gel. And what do we got over here? Is this going to be individuals? Yeah, ones. And for the first time could be newly. Word before deck or hand could be upper. Yeah, well, moving along now nicely. Absolute champion. Small brown songbird wren. And for some reason my entire life I've always thought that a wren sounded like a blue bird. I don't even know why. Cheer after a goal. Let's see, TV host who got asked a lot of questions, and I'm going with Alex Trebek. And I really hate that I never got to meet him. I really hate that he's no longer with us. Okay, publicity and cries of understanding. Maybe ahas. And I guess alien landing news, maybe a hoax. That's good. Challenge for a person drawing lots. Cause for a lawsuit could be a tort, and that makes me think that up top is an attention seeker or getter or something. So publicity hound, yeah, I think it can be an attention, and then whatever this is, supports illegally in a way, so that's probably going to be a bets. So maybe an attention seeker. We'll have to check ourselves, but it's nice to get something all the way across for a change. Vicidart. Vicidart opera. That's a Tosca. A Tosca. It's Tosca. Milk's favorite cookie brand, Oreo, maybe. Sure, I've been creeping into these grids lately a lot. Them Oreos. Labor Day event. Going with birth on this one. That seems like a pretty good deal. I guess we've got our person drawing lots of an art test, which is also pretty clever. Well done, Lance Enfinger. I am so far very impressed with your grid here. Nice construction. Person often flirting with danger or disaster. It looks like we got a storm chaser. And enemy of the Rebel Alliance, probably the Empire. And let's see, I guess I might as well finish out this bottom corner and go on around counterclockwise. Flower and Thumper's buddy would be Bambi. Ham of soccer fame, probably Mia. Handbill, maybe a flyer. Not just some, perhaps all. Bit of snow could be a flake, and a closest pal could be a BFF. And all right. One's trying not to be sacked in brief, maybe QBs. Game that ends when the snitch is caught and whose positions end. I have no idea what we're even talking about. It was just not surprising. Chilly remark. What do you think? Burr. Posed, maybe sat. I sat for a pencil sketch portrait once when I was very, very young. I was like about 16 years old. Very testing of a 16-year-old's patience, but I loved the after effect. It was pretty cool. Integrous, made by Accurate, at least it was last I checked. Yost's SNL Weekend Update co-host. I can't remember. To be live, I just cannot. We got a shirt, polo. Tournament ranking. I guess this is Che. I mean, I don't watch SNL. I mean, I just don't. First of all, I'm not in the right country. Second of all, when I'd seen it, it would be like a week old when it finally gets thrown up on whatever, Peacock. And, you know, it's not something that I ever really get to see. So is this game I've heard of called Quidditch? I mean, I don't know anything about it. Fossil Hunters Project could be a dig. You dig? I don't even know how to spell Quidditch. I'll take a guess, but just assume it's spelled like this, and we'll see. It washes ashore could be a tide. Question after a joke bombs. Maybe get it? Yeah, dude, we got it. It sucked. Moving on. Crank out some more there, joke boy. Home of the Craters of the Moon National Monument. And I have no idea. I'm assuming it's Idaho. I've been to Idaho, and they do have some pretty impressive craters that could be mistaken for the moon, perhaps, in the right light. But attempted. See where that K is? That's what I'm thinking. This is like took a shot. Took a shot. Nothing's really felt great except for maybe Bambi and Hoax so far. Beekeeper felt pretty good, but honestly, yeah, this is a pretty tightly wound little grid, and I'm liking it. This is wonderful for a Tuesday. Remark while fanning oneself. Maybe it's hot. Response in the game of Battleship. Oh, how you just begrudgingly say that. Hit. Korean fermented cabbage. Could have seen that coming. Piece of equipment seen at the Paralympics, and I guess that's a sit ski. I can't remember what that's called. Qatari leader would be an Amir. So I think this is a sit ski. Remember asking that question once, and when I was one of our Army programs, PT physical training programs, we actually got to sit in some of these. And like one time we played basketball in wheelchairs. Let me tell you something. That was a workout. Oh man. So I guess that barnyard sound could be meh. We're getting a lot of the meh too. Meh and Oreos. And when the sheep start asking for Oreos, then we're going to have a problem. Home for Shrek. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on cartoon ogres or animated ogres or whatever, but I think it's a swamp. I think a rescue animal would be a pet. If I were going to have a pet, I'd probably have a rescue animal these days, but I'm just not pet type person. It's too much responsibility. Something else to feed. Responsible for. I mean, here in Germany, you got to walk around. And just take them for a walk all the time. It's not like not very many people have backyards, right? So, vessel in a slip. So, choices at salons. Signature Caitlin Clark shot. I think she's in the 3-pointer, right? I wasn't impressed. Another one that's made it into a lot of our grids. Meh. So if the sheep asks you, I want an Oreo, what do you think of the Oreos? You just go, meh. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Got the Arc de Triomphe. And I guess our vessel in the slip is a yacht. And I like this so much. Maybe what a treat. So choices at salons could be styles. That's nice. Alt Rock, Alt Weekly, very cool. Okay, let's get up here, finish up, and get this done. Let's see if we can finish smooth and clean. Spelled out chant at the World Cup, and I blush to say, I guess we got air in AC, Phi Beta Kappa, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume. Standout would be the shell. An absolute champion, maybe a world beater. I don't think I understand that. Back end could be a rear. Make good as new, perhaps is to restore. Gaelic language could be Erse. Rosa Parks made it in. I think we got Drano here. And poorly behaved child could be a brat. And how did we do, Bob? Okay, for being a long-winded gas bag, still a good time. We don't really count time here at all. Even if it took 30 minutes, it took 30 minutes because I was having a wonderful time serenading you with all kinds of great anecdotal whatever from... I'm sorry for when those get too windy. But very nice grid. Lance Enfinger. Enfinger, fantastic grid, my man. I really enjoyed this. This was a Tuesday puzzle that was really well done and pretty tricky in its own way. What I think most of us would say about it, it's just a very cleverly constructed grid. I didn't see anything in it that was inelegant. In all, it was just a fantastic grid. So very, very well done. It's not often that you stop on a Monday or Tuesday and go, hey, nice grid. Or as our friends up in Canada say, hey, nice grid, eh? But I'm just saying, pretty cool grid. And by the way, plenty of Americans say the same thing in Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas. Oh yeah, don't you know? So it's all good. This is just fabulous. Wonderful, wonderful grid. I can't brag on it enough. Cheers. Very well done. Out with the old and with the new. So I was just hit with a torrent of get well wishes in both email, direct messages, and of course in the comments. This is a wonderful community, and it's clear. Even my mother wrote yesterday, you're obviously very devoted to your crossword family. I think that might have been a hint, you know. I gave birth to you. I fed you. Yeah, well, Mutti, you're in the crossword community too. No, I love my mother very much, and we have a very great relationship. So I think it's really wonderful. I'm sorry that she's been having the same dental issues I have. And I think I told her in my response today, it's not like I'm going to blame you for some sort of genetic whatever, when it turns out that so many studies are now basically saying what they said back in 2015, 16, 17 timeframe is essentially more than likely looking more and more to be true, that you get your intelligence and your personality features from your mother. That being, if you have a winning personality and if you have high intelligence, otherwise it might come from an XY combination chromosome pairing versus a double X. And since my mother has 2 of those bad boys, I appreciate the X's. So thank you for everything, and thank you all so very much for being so caring and so concerned and just being so kind and gifted and wonderful members of our wind down cruciverbalist community. We need a name. We need a name. We need a name for our village, and we need a name for what we are as members of this village. I love the word cruciverbalist because, well, it is what we do. We construct and we therefore deconstruct on the other end crossword puzzles. We solve them, right? You know, among other puzzles in life, right? We just love puzzles, but especially the crosswords. So for cruciverbalists, how can we turn it into something really fun, you know, in tandem, you know, maybe it's a portmanteau of sorts, but it's something, it's the cruciverbal village, Crucivillagers or something like that. I don't know. Any ideas, let me know. We might have a contest. I just need to have 3 or more to go with. So please, if you have an idea, shoot them towards me, and then we'll put them up for a vote. But it should be an awful lot of fun. Until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. Servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Again, thank you all. It means the world to me. And I just love this place. I'm so glad you're here to solve this grid with me every single day. My name is Christopher, and be good to your friends. Be great to your neighbors, but be especially kind to the person behind you in the queue. Be well out there.